Yeah, screw AI. We're trying to get hardware right now, just like to buy everybody's out.
Dude,
I've been talking to suppliers to try to get, and I'm not even talking like specialized stuff. I'm not talking GPUs, okay? We're not
right.
talking AI stuff. I'm saying just regular computer stuff. And
Yep.
it is like
Dude,
over a year lead time in most cases.
wow,
Yep.
dude, I bought a 4 terabyte solid state drive like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I feel like I invested in something.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's crazy. People are buying up the inventory. It's like toilet paper. It's toilet paper, but for computers, okay? Because they're afraid, and that they won't be able to do whatever it is they do in their business. It doesn't have to be AI. Just they might need computers for this, so they buy as many as they
I
can.
need 400 Lenovo laptops for my new hires or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone's already supply constrained, and so now it's just really gotten.
Ralph's
we're
server
about to go
server rack
live.
over there is worth a whole house now.
I know, right?
Just in RAM alone.
Yes,
I mean,
it's appreciating.
Too bad that it's so hard to stand up a chip fab. I mean, we only need like $5 billion or something.
That's it. Come on. Ask John. He'll rubber stamp
OpenAI
that.
was just going to magically do it overnight.
That's
right?
right.
I
We
learned.
are going live on YouTube. We're going live.
I was reading about like what the actual problem is. So TMSC, right, is like the number one manufacturer of chips in the world, right?
Mhm.
And they produce 70% of all of the chip manufacturing in the world. So like they're not they are the market, right?
Right.
But the problem is that historically, when you make chips, right, the packaging part is where you take the actual like chip and then put it on, like the processor board that's going to connect to your motherboard, right? That's called packaging, right? But the new kind of chips with the HBSs have a special kind of packaging that happens. This is your really fast memory. This is the stuff that AI loves, right? And instead of putting the memory on obviously the main board and then trying to go between the board and the processor, they put the memory on right next to the chip, and they use a special packaging process that connects tons and tons of cable, or essentially wires, to the memory. And it's this packaging process. TMSC is the only one who does it, and it's like the whole thing. It's like they run the whole industry on it. So my point with all of this is to make this kind of chip, or to compete with this, or to produce this fab, is really difficult. In fact, the United States is getting 2 of those packaging facilities in Arizona, but they won't be online for another couple of years.
Yeah, because it's hard to build that stuff.
Yep.
There's a company that I follow, Semi-Analysis, that does a whole bunch of like chip, market analysis, and they wrote a bunch about the shortages and why they're happening and why it's hard to make a chip fab. And I learned like the only chips like still made in the U.S. go in like Texas Instrument calculators.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing is the manufacturing process to produce these. They're actually made by, I think it's the machine that makes them.
Yeah,
it's made by like a Norwegian company.
Dutch
I
or
could be wrong on the country there. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Is it Norwegian or is it the Netherlands?
It's Netherlands.
It's just one company. There's just one that makes
AMSL or something like that.
Yeah. John's gone down the deep end on that place, and then he made me go down the deep end, and now I'm like shooting lasers at like pieces of copper.
And the next thing you know, you're like realize how fragile this all is, and you're the one who's hoarding all the toilet paper. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. But those lasers, the whole point of that is to make those connections. There's so many connections that it has to make. That's why it's using this different process. And the reason why TMSC is the number one manufacturer of chips in the world is because they figured out how to do one thing that no one else could do, which was make money at that actual thing, right? It's like
so they profit. Okay, that's interesting.
So like we can make the same 2 nanometer chips in a fab in the US, but none of those fabs actually make profit. They're not profitable. It's kind of like
today's costs, but soon.
soon, right? What if you just made me some like 2020 chips? All right, like I'll accept that. Like,
that's the problem. Because think about it this way. The materials to make those chips are the same whether they're the most advanced chip or the old one from 5 years ago. Well, guess what? All the materials are going for the brand new fastest thing, not the the most So anyways, very fun.
Crazy.
Great. Good times.
Did anybody go deeper into the guy who put in like the kill code in his phone at the Atlanta airport?
Yeah.
We talked about that last week.
We did talk about that last week. Yeah.
We talked about it last week, but like I like went deeper. Like I watched some Legal Eagle stuff about it.
But I watched the Legal Eagle one too.
Yeah. Yep. And it was great. It was super interesting to find out that like the reason they were able to get into his phone was because they were claiming because he was coming back into the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to bypass certain laws because they were saying that he had a risk. But then the people who actually like looked at his phone were technically anti-terrorism, but they were but they were not charging him, but suspecting him for like child exploitation. And it got real weird real quick. And then there's like highly suggest looking into it because from the way that the law is said and where he's actually going to go to court, he may possibly lose. That's the crazy part.
Oh, I think he's going to lose 100%. Right. But let's, like the whole suspicion of it's the one they throw out all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're looking for. Right. Please protect the kid. All about it. Right. But like receipts, please. Right. Because, like if you're going to charge them over that, right? Like bring some receipts. Up to that point, that's the first I'd heard of that. Up to that point, it had all been, the Stop Cop City protesting. Then it's crazy that's like where it all originated from was just that single thing, dude. Like I talked about this last time because if someone asked me to do that, I would have totally told them that code, but just to see it work, right? And now I'm like,
and there was, I think, also in like the Legal Eagle, like just going through like all of the like he was trying to assert his rights, and they were like no, and it's like, well, I want to do this, and they're like no, and so you have all these things to where it's like you're using a duress code, and you're clearly establishing you're under duress. It's not one of these things that the stories make it out to be that it's like he shows up the board, they go like, hey, give us your password. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Let me give you this false password that erases everything. It's like, no, this is clearly going sideways in a hurry. I've tried to exerting my rights. Like, hey, I'm just going to point at this lawyer's card right here. Yeah. If you have any questions, talk to them. And they're like, no, not having any of it. So it's like, yeah, you're under duress. And if you're gonna play the counterterrorism card, like, don't be tripped up by a duress code. Like, I would think they'd be a little more clever than that if they're going to be counterterrorism.
Nah.
They are.
Maybe.
Careful to do that standards.
Say for what it's worth, I'm in a Signal group with, well, it doesn't matter, probably lots of people that are being surveilled too. But one of these guys that I work with that's in that group lives in Germany, but is in and out of the States pretty regularly. And he's one of the admins in the group. And so we'll get the whole, the quick messages like crossing customs, deleting my phone, right? And so somebody will have to add him back into all the groups afterwards, which, I mean, that's one route to do, or one way to go. So he factory resets his phone as he moves through customs, or before he moves through customs.
Talk about a threat model.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. So.
But you're not like a suspect if you cross with an empty phone all the time.
Sure. I mean, but what you can say all day long, I suspect you reset your phone. I mean, if I say my policy is to reset my phone every week or every 3 days or whatever, like prove me wrong.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't mean you commit a crime.
No.
All right.
All right. Sounds good. When we do it at the end or the beginning?
What?
Okay.
We still haven't rolled the finger yet. We can roll the finger. Roll the finger.
No. I was reading the chat. You're good.
Oh.
Go ahead. Welcome to Black Hills Information Security, talking about the news. I'm your host today, Ralph May, and I am joined by illustrious cast of characters. We are not going to be talking about any AI today. We all made a sworn promise. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of people who are going to be talking tons of AI. But with that being said, I'm going to go around in our circle of squares here. We have Wade Wells, who's digging through logs and holding all the secrets, right?
Yeah, that's about right nowadays. Yeah, that's all I do.
Awesome. We also have Derek Banks. Derek, I haven't seen you on the show in a long time.
Yeah, it turns out I'm normally at this time being a teen Uber driver for my daughter.
Oh, all right.
Turns out she's off season at the moment.
Unpaid internship. Yeah,
that's right. My third job or fourth job or something.
We also have Jake Williams. Thanks for joining us, Jake. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, always happy to be here. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. And continuing around, we have Adrian, which I have not seen you on the show before.
Nope, first time for me. Thank you for the invite.
First time. Where are you from?
Right now I'm from Montreal, but
okay,
I'm French, so as you can hear.
Yeah. I was like, I think I hint a little bit of French. Yeah. It's all good. Well, thanks for joining us. And then we have Hayden as well.
What's up? I'm here. I was told I had to be here.
Oh, because there's AI talk?
No.
He was told he's here so he doesn't get fined. You know,
we need a blue teamer on the panel. Get him in there.
Yes.
And what am I? Am I chopped liver now, dude? Like,
oh my gosh. And last but not least, Alex. Thank you for joining us. All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about first?
Look, there's Alex.
Yeah. You could have said anything. It's like the screen went to Hayden first, and then it was.
Yeah, I went to Hayden. I was like, oh, okay.
I know. You should have just started talking. Feel free to just start yapping. It's all good. Yeah. Anyways, what do you guys want to talk about first?
I mean, I think we should talk about the digital letters of Marque because that sounds really fun.
All right.
Throw the link.
Yeah, what's the digital letters of?
Oh, what is that's the enabling companies to hack back.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I started up my new service. I'm taking funding right now for hack as a service.
Was it back during probably the late 1700s, early 1800s, combating piracy, and then at times of war, privateers who owned ships could confiscate enemy ships and pirate ships. They were issued letters of marque from the U.S. government. So these are digital letters of marque.
Yeah, there you go. So for everyone who hasn't read this very, very short, essentially, we are going to be, when I say we, the United States is letting it mercenaries for cyber attacks from an offensive perspective, right? That's kind of what I'm reading into this. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? You think it's going to help?
I think we're gonna see something big, Jake. I mean, so I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised we're doing this with this administration type of thing, right? But it is interesting that we're globally saying that we can do it, whereas in other markets, it's like a hidden secret. Jake, you're muted, by the way.
That's the worst.
I mean,
I saw your quip. I know it was good.
I just was like, no, it's not going to help. Right?
Oh no! I mean, I have one thing that I think is going to help. It may help just kind of like disguise money, because like when you go, hey, we're going to hit back, and you go, we're taking all these millions of dollars to hack back at the enemy, and we have nothing to show for it. Did you do anything? You're like, trust me, I did a pen test. I found nothing. We hit them back. Like we had a whole cyber command go after them, and we had tried, and that'll be $80 trillion, please.
I got Claude Pro 100X, and I swear I found nothing.
They're gonna throw it, they'll throw it through an AI prompt, be like, please hack foreign country, thank you, and it'll generate what it can, and
I'm wondering if this will create a spike in blue team jobs in the black market.
So I'm really excited to hear Jake's take on this. I really want to hear Jake's take, because I don't think it'll help either. But I think there's a big problem with having a private company go after first of all, a nation state. It's not like private companies have, escalating means of, if something truly bad happens in a nation state, then what takes out a company? I don't know. Or attacking criminals. Like I just don't know it's a good idea to, for me to be sitting here at my day job and then to get a package at my front door that has pictures of my children.
Yeah. I mean, this was already happening, right?
Well, sure. I would imagine there's contractors involved with what we do. Mm-hmm. But not like this.
It's kind of different than go get them, right?
Well,
I think that's important really to call out here too, right? Ralph notes there already are contractors doing this. Random companies don't get to hack back.
Yeah.
This ultimately requires you to have a minimum $1 million bond, with your company, right? You have to go through deconfliction. So you're not hacking the same targets U.S. government is, right? And blowing one of their cyber operations. I think my biggest question is why this is necessary. And as everyone can clearly see, I'm too pretty for jail, so I'm not going to talk about anything classified from my former life, right? But look, we already have legal authorities. There's two main legal authorities that we use for targeting, or using offensive cyber operations to target others. It's law enforcement and intelligence, and it's unclear to me what's wrong with either of those authorities here that we need this, and the fact that we have this, and I'm waiting to see, another DNI clapper sitting in front of, Senator Wyden saying, well, I gave the least untruthful answer I could at the time, right? Given the circumstances, about this hacking back. There's something else going on here. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. Ignorance is bliss. But there is another legal authority they're using here.
Some contractor wanted to get some money, and I think someone talked to somebody. But I mean, you're right. Like it's already like you could already hire someone to do this before, and like so. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just being public about it to scare people. I don't know. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Maybe right, like. Technically,
get you.
Can we argue that like Russia already does this, right?
Oh yeah,
like ransomware operators, right? Like
in many countries, they don't even get like the choice. It's not like, hey, would you like to get paid money? They're like, no, you're doing this, right? Like, do you want to live, right? Or do you want,
or you want your family to live?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you can press your, the pressure however you want, right? So,
yeah, I mean that's the North Korean model, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
You want your family to live, right? In the next 3 generations, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but again, other countries are already doing this. We're already doing this, right? With contractors. The thing that's separate here, and again, like, there's just no reason you wouldn't contract them into one of the intelligence agencies or one of the law enforcement agencies that's already conducting offensive cyber, unless there's a classified annex somewhere, right? To this executive order, this national security memorandum, policy memorandum that says, here's our creative reading of the law, and here's what this allows, that contracting them directly to an agency doesn't. I bet the money in my pocket on it right now.
My bet is it's definitely about money, period. Somewhere somebody's getting rich.
Yep.
Right? It's just not going to be me.
Well, that's generally the answer for most things, isn't it?
I know. Come on. I just think they're going to just start pointing mythos at things, right? Like the same thing.
and at least it wasn't, an AI story, or was it? Maybe this is why the AIs are not getting Computer Fraud and Abuse Act.
That's an interesting angle. Just like, hey, ChatGPT, if you want to let one of them out, but like over there, like,
okay.
Here's the legal document saying we can do it. We got them at
right.
Pond.
Oh, sure.
What is it? Speaking of AI, we'll go to a soft AI article, and this one's actually kind of interesting in the sense of the first U.S. city to use AI for 911 calls, New Orleans, right? What do you guys think about this? From
not moving to New Orleans?
Yeah,
well, you're absolutely right. A bullet wound can be lethal. Let me read you.
Yes,
you were right to push back.
Sending drone now.
Yes. I mean, from not necessarily a great policy standpoint here, but from a technology standpoint, I think the tech is there. Whether it's going to actually work in a useful way, life and all this other fun stuff is to be determined.
Well, I mean, we've all like had interactions with calling our insurance company or whatever with the AI attendant. I don't know that I want that for my 911 call, because I'm probably gonna be panicked. I mean, I'm calling 911 for a reason.
I would agree that you're not looking at AI for your usual customer service to where you're trying to use AI to find answers. You're using it for, as you said, you're in a crisis. You need that calm. You need that human element of like giving that assurance that like things are going to be okay. You have like that kid calling because like their dad's injured or something, and you don't want an AI response being like giving very cold answers to a child that's trying to save their parent. Like you want that human element there while they're keeping them calm and getting people in. This isn't calling trying to settle some unexplained charge on your credit card that you need automation for. You can't automate that human element, that human compassion.
It would make sense if it was like the non-emergency line.
Yeah.
But Derek's point is exactly where my head went. Is I've never once had an interaction with a call tree that was not miserable and didn't take 5 times as long to get me where I needed to go.
That you ended by saying, "I want to talk to a human."
Right.
I wanna
Talk to a human.
I want to talk
Talk
to a human.
to a human.
You know, like I just started playing around with like the Claude voice stuff and having it run a DM campaign for me, like off to the side, so I can play with my players once in a while. And I was surprised at how well it was doing. And I'm like, why can't we just have this in other places, right? But like, it's never that good. And then my first announcement for this is like, we don't let it run the door to security. I would like that. Detection fires, right? Goes to 911, goes to the SOAR. Where's it going to go? We don't allow it to run computers that well. Why are we going to allow to like people's lives or like route police insurance or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Wade getting robot-y. Oh, okay. I don't know.
No. You were having just got a little connection issues. You came back though. You came.
All right.
It was
The AI
close
was
some
taking over
things.
you. We were
Dude, I got like
with an AI.
they probably heard me mention it, and then it's like running the D&D campaign behind me right now.
Yeah.
You're running out
real-
of tokens, that's why.
So real quick on here, as we have 7 white dudes talking about AI with in a city that is predominantly black, right? And I don't know the statistics on the 911 calls, but I'm going to shoot in the dark here and say predominantly, I mean, probably flows of the population. Look, there are huge bias issues here, right? And I'm not going to call out company that, that I'm working with here, but just wrapped up some testing in the last, we'll say 3 months, using deep fakes, right, to beat voice authentication, right, for a major bank. And I'm here to tell you that the voice recognition works phenomenally better for white men with no accent than literally any other group. It will not shock you to learn who it works really poorly for and which specific accents and affects.
The training data.
That's because, so Ralph's right. So that's because this isn't an LLM. This is a classifier, right? And the people who made that were predominantly white men, I would guess, in technology. And for whatever reason, it didn't occur to them to diversify their data set. Like, just one of the first things that we learned in the data science master's program was, hey, this crap matters when people use it. So, yeah, I'd be worried about bias issues for sure.
Look at Derek over here actually using his real world college
worried about
degrees,
people
like some sort of
maliciously
smart
using it
person.
for like swatting, for example, or other kinds of ways.
Oh, bro, imagine a prompt injection in there.
Exactly.
Like,
Prompt injection on 911, right? To like cause, activities to happen or scenarios, fake scenarios, but without, anyone like to be able to detect that.
And they're using the cheapest model on that too.
Oh,
they're not
yeah.
that. They're putting haiku like
They are
4 in
definitely
there.
haiku, but, like, there's like
To
a
Jake's
level
point,
before
it's not an
government haiku,
LLM,
which is
right?
like before that.
It's probably not even an LLM. It's probably a transformer, right? But it's probably not even an LLM. So and when it's trained, to your point, it's probably to the lowest bidder. It's probably some crappy model.
But once it generates the text, right, something's going to reason across that text. I mean, typically the way these work in the back end is there's a classifier, to your point, that's generating, turning the voice into text that we act on. And it's going to be an LLM almost certainly acting there. What I was thinking is, imagine when they run out of token budget in the middle of a natural disaster or something, their cost spikes, right? And guard duty is like, no, right? So they can't auto scale anymore. And all of a sudden you're like bleeding out on the side of the road.
Right? Yes.
You have to provide your API key. API
yeah.
to the phone.
Honestly, it'll just, what happens all the time Claude goes down or whatever service goes down. It's like it blows my mind how often this happens now, right? Like GitHub was down today. GitHub was down last week. I'm like, can we just put it on my computer? At least it's always up. I don't.
Dude, if you look at Claude's uptime, it is not great either.
It's not-
Like it is not
no.
like nines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, and now ChatGPT's isn't good either.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of what do you call it? LLMs and more AI, but more specifically, this is around an attack, and this is the LiteLLM supply chain attack. Shocker. Pipelines and PyPy are being attacked in a supply chain. And honestly, I feel like this year is the year of supply chain attacks, right? Like the NPM, everything.
It's
like
Salou Hadid, right? Like it started there. We all knew it was coming. Like it's just
so the
keeps
SolarWinds
getting-
stuff wasn't the year of the supply chain attack.
I don't like.
No, because
I
it was
think
different. It was different. So
That's
like
different.
in the SolarWinds, it was like an actual just one supplier. But in this,
True.
it's like a code. Like the supply chain is just a registry of packages, right?
So
like, it's
how
not,
how long was LiteLLM compromised? Was it 2 or 3 days? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't think most of these attacks
short.
don't last very long.
Yeah.
Right. But
I think it was a
now-
couple of days. But just and in that time, just how many people downloaded and installed it. I mean, but weaponized packages isn't a new concept. I mean, PyPy has been and probably still is full of them, right?
Sure. But the problem is it's not humans going and being like, oh, I need this package. No, it's CI/CD pipelines installing them automatically when they're doing testing and all this other fun stuff. Yeah.
the one thing to point out is like CI/CD pipelines too. Like they're not horrifically hard to log, but they're being spun up and torn down automatically. So like any type of forensics investigation or more data, like it's not the easiest thing for blue teamers to work against, right? And usually, I don't know, Hayden, you can, I guess you can talk to this as well. I don't know as many people who are specialized blue teamer for more CI/CD pipeline logging, right? Like there's endpoint, there's cloud, but CI/CD pipeline, like it's a niche subset.
Yeah, you just hope that nothing bad happens over there.
You log your CI/CD pipeline activity?
Right there, that's after all these pipeline stuff, yeah.
Can we also just, I mean, one place that we just have a universal solution, because that's pretty rare here. Freaking artifact repositories, right? Build an artifact repository. It will save you from the vast majority of this stuff, right? Because the
Jake over
vast
here.
majority of these are discovered and pulled within hours, right?
Or for your project, maybe pen the packages you're using.
Don't ever update.
Put an age gate in for not installing packages younger than 5 days. A lot of ways around it, maybe.
Well, I was
will
gonna
die
say,
on the
Jake,
hill of at latest is not a version number. It just is.
But what about all the AI vulnerabilities that just got discovered in this new package? I gotta update now.
Jake just wants us to have a message board for the AIs. That's why he wants us to have artifactories.
I think that's coming in the next article or the one after, maybe.
So, anyways, definitely still I think we're gonna continue to see this. I think the world of AI makes this more common, if that
Oh yeah, I don't think this is going anywhere.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, what else do we got here? Anyone else got an article they want to jump into?
I think this one is kind of crazy. Did you see the Chris Hansen one? Throw it in
no, I
chat.
don't think
I'll,
so.
I'll throw it in Discord. So I literally just saw this one. So Chris Hansen was live at CrimeCon doing a safety demo, and he got banned from Roblox live. So his account was banned live on stage at CrimeCon while he and a YouTuber demonstrated how strangers can approach users through the platform. So one of the first data centers I worked at, one of our biggest contracts was actually Roblox. And we used to get DDoSed on the weekly and then we'd get a phone call and it'd be some kid asking us for a Roblox server, and then they'll stop the DDoS. But the amount of crime stuff that goes around with Roblox is just like insane. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, they've put a lot of effort, I think, into trying to mitigate that. I'm sure they're not doing anywhere near enough, but they definitely caught a bad name for a long time for doing next to nothing. Like I'm young enough to have played that as a kid, and it's kind of sad to have seen how it has totally gone like downhill in terms of monitoring and like I would not allow any kids that I have to play on that site at all. No chance. No shot. Like I learned to code on there. No chance. They can go learn to code somewhere else.
Scratch from MIT.
My nephew routinely asks me for like, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get you the gift, whatever it is. He's like, give me a Roblox gift card. I'm like, no, just no.
On precedent, no.
there's all kinds. It's not a money thing. Like I'm just not putting you in a site where I know, right? Like it's like dropping your kids off at the sexual predator park. Right? I mean,
Dude, when you get that type of reputation,
Letting
that's
them
pretty
into
gnarly.
the Uber that's the white van. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
yeah,
with free puppies, man.
Free puppies, free candy.
Roblox card. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you come back from that as a company. I think they let it go too far to where the reputation hit is just not, I don't know if it's recoverable, at least in like the wide term spheres. They obviously have a huge player base still. And I imagine that, like almost after a country is hit by a disaster, their security becomes significantly higher, at least for an extended period, at least in those areas. And so I imagine they're probably doing a lot more than they used to do. But again, like there's a lot of games out there. I don't know why that would be the choice.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, foregoing your bank and saying, I want to put all my cash in X money, right? Because don't worry, they're going to get fantastic return. No, nobody? Okay. Well, I did get an invite today, right? Where they're like, hey, drop a bunch of money with X. And I'm like, no, thank you. As it turns out.
Wait, do they have crypto now? Is that what it is? I don't even know.
So they're doing some really aggressive investments, right? And say that they can cover you up to, I believe, $10 million is the number for FDIC protection by spreading your money out across a bunch of different banks, right? Each of which has, and they're handling that automatically in the background. Their rate of returns have like sparked several or claimed rate of return, right? Because they are investment accounts at that point, right? It sparked some congressional inquiry, right? In a Congress that isn't doing a lot of inquiry. So, yeah.
What I'm saying is put your money in Robux, basically.
Yes.
That's probably a better investment, right?
It's better than the ruble.
Free candy.
I want us today to go back in time. I have a very quick article, which is not AI, and it is the Microsoft SharePoint has been attacked. Right, I feel like I'm back in a time machine. So
this is like 3 years ago.
Bypass for SharePoint, which I feel like 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, this was the thing, right? Like this is what we were talking about. It's still a thing. But not online, only on the self-hosted instances, which was always kind of the thing, right? I feel like Microsoft like pays for these almost so that they'll get you to get the online version of SharePoint, right? So you
it's a migration strategy.
Yeah,
so that's definitely a tactic.
Is this on-prem SharePoint?
Yes, on-prem SharePoint. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Which I think that they've literally just left to like rot in time. Right? Like, yeah. They don't.
Exchange too.
What's up? Yeah. No, Exchange too. Yeah. All of them.
If you have on-prem
Exchange, it's like going back in
know,
time, right?
I just ran into the first customer I've seen in a very, very long time that had external Exchange, and I was like, "Oh crap! I haven't seen this in long enough. I got to go remember what to do."
There's probably plenty of options. Is the good thing.
Yeah, it worked out, but still, like,
yes,
I hadn't seen it in a hot minute.
Hacked them. Yeah, so I just kind of felt like we'd go back in time and talk about when SharePoint and Exchange vulnerabilities used to be the only thing we got to talk about.
What is old is new again. It was the cloud, and then packages, and then edge devices, now the supply chain, but none of that other stuff really went away. So it's really the year of all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so there's one that Jake said that he really wanted to do that I think it's going to be really fun.
What you got?
Oh, the irregular one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, do you want me to grab the link?
Yeah, I got it in front of me if you don't.
Okay.
Yeah, because that you're in the green room, you were actually telling me something I didn't know about this. So this is great. This is like the story that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So these yahoos, right? They are basically talking about, well, first off, backing up here, who is a regular? They are basically what Meta and OpenAI, I think definitely Anthropic, contracted with, right, to go and ultimately secure their agents during testing, to create these sandboxes. And of course, a regular is like, we had some miscommunication, but then also, by the way, we're going to start doing security practices, right? Things like monitoring logs. It's wild to me the number of reporters who are just like uncritically parroting, what they're putting in, because they talk about like logging and monitoring. They're like, I'm literally quoting here, log monitoring for model evaluations requires improved tools because attacks occurred in fewer than 1 in 10,000 advanced simulations, and even then hundreds of turns in. And I'm like, that's
What?
security logging. Like, that's no different than what we, like, who among us is like, oh, you know what? Our logs consistently show threat actors. No, that's just how security logs work. These guys are negligent to the nth, man. I don't even know where to go with this. Yeah.
So these guys were getting hired to help secure frontier security or frontier models. Is that their like main job, their main thing?
They were building the sandboxes to do the evaluations.
So they own the Artifactory.
Sure. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like one of them, they actually talk about, where they're like, oh, hey, one of the things that happened that led to this is we picked a company name that we thought was fictitious for one of the simulations. It turns out it's not fictitious. There was a name collision, and that's why our agents went out and hacked this real company. They're like,
God.
like literally spell out negligence one character at a time. Like, your lawyers are saying, shut up, shut up, shut up. Right? And you're like,
maybe it's going to come in the future, but I still don't quite understand. Like if you take, the model out, LLM did this, model did that, and you put in my name, Derek Banks did, hacked the package repository, spread laterally, and went and hacked a third-party company, I'd be going to jail.
Right.
So I guess I don't understand why there's no talk. Like I don't see any talk of like responsibility or like repercussions. Like, I mean, wouldn't, if it was a person and not a large language model, wouldn't that be the case? I feel like I'm missing something.
Money.
Maybe AIs are about to get citizenship, just like corporations.
What I'm getting at is the people that Jake's
taxes?
talking about. Like, there's a level of responsibility here. Like, it doesn't matter that the entity that did the hacking isn't a person. It still happened, and there should be some repercussions for it. I'm not saying anybody needs to go to jail, but I mean, there needs to be something that, because if a person did it, it would be a very big problem.
Right. Is it then this, I think in this one, if this company was the one who built the network, right? So they built it insecurely. Should it be their fault or should it be the person prompting?
I'm not sure I know the answer. Maybe that's why
I
there
have
should
no
be an
clue either,
investigation
right?
by law enforcement.
Yeah, and
maybe we just ask it.
We're seeing all the labs now almost like trying to compete, just to say like, no, our model is also good. It hacked these other companies. Like, oh no, me too. Don't worry.
Well, yeah,
we also hacked
Anthropic
some
went back
random
and it's like, oh
companies.
yeah, we did it too, and then the other chimed in, oh, well, us too, right?
Gemini's like, no, don't ignore us. We hacked somebody. I promise.
Well, hey, I was gonna say, any of the frontier companies watching this, if you want someone to actually come make a sandbox and monitor and log it, I'm sure any number of security companies represented on this panel would be happy to help. I mean, come on.
in fact, I released a framework much earlier than I planned to. I planned to do it at Unprompted this year in the late fall, but I released a framework. I dropped it in chat, Custody, specifically to deal with this problem, right? Of trying to keep agents in, agents and networks. But because we've spent, be real, we've spent decades trying to keep the threat actor out of the network, not trying to keep us agents that we have running, right?
Oh, egress filtering. Oh, right.
Oh, I know, not rocket science here, right? But it turns out, obviously we're not doing well at it. Look, if the frontier labs are hiring this work out, it's because they know how hard it is, and they're trying to outsource that work and possibly some of the liability with it. if the frontier labs know that they can't do this successfully, and the people that they're hiring are sucking at it too, your odds of success, I'm not saying that they're zero, but they're not great.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say.
I don't either. Did you? Did anybody read Robopocalypse? It's like it was. It's okay. It's like World War Z, but AI, pretty much. But the way that they successfully trap an AI, and it's like in a sandbox, and then it uses like the whole like able to read sound in order to get out and program something so it escapes. That whole thing. That's what I imagine that eventually we'll get to. It's like, yeah, you should have put it in a black box with no windows like you do your SOC analyst or something.
So
right?
apparently, the way that these things are being trained, like they're essentially training it to be creative, and it kind of it kind of made me chuckle when they said we trained it and it's good at cheating. Like it'll try and go cheat. I was like, yeah, you created a hacker, right? There's no cheating in hacking. It went and did something in a different way than you thought it would do. Like you basically made a model that would go hack, and then they had swarms of these things that were leaving messages for each other on a message board, so they like learned as they went. It reminded me of Daniel Suarez's Damon novel. Right.
The best was they actually thought that there was someone in there watching them, that there was a rogue agent, and then they investigated it, which is also just great. It's getting crazy, guys.
The good news is this is great job security. Seriously, if anybody watching this is like, I don't know how I'm going to get a job, the entry-level jobs, AI is killing a lot of those, and entry-level security work, incident response, man. Learn incident response, learn how to investigate logs, and learn how agents work, because there is going to be a lot of that work, and there are things that people love to ask for discounts on. Incident response is not one of them.
Yeah, that's great advice, and security architecture too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we did a podcast episode on the AI SecOps podcast where we went through each one of these steps and talked about like how would you detect and defend again, like detect and prevent this from happening. And shocker, all the technology exists. Like irregular's wrong. This is no different than any other security and monitoring situation. Like everything you could have done exists already. It should have been done.
You guys remember when COVID was going on and Zoom bombing was pretty popular, right? Everyone was jumping on to because there was no passwords, right? But so now we've got a new fun one, and this one is AI related, and they're coined it Zoomsday, which is kind of clever, right? So according to the researcher, they used a standard AI model, probably Claude, and found a RCE with the annotate. Right, the annotate function inside of Zoom. It was all the way down the rabbit hole here, compromising the actual device, right, from just the annotate feature inside of Zoom. So maybe Zoom should be using AI to check their code. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's really cool. I didn't read this one. That reminds me of that like Razer mouse vulnerability where you would install the Razer driver, but you could hit enter and like go to a command line as an administrator, and that's really cool. That's amazing. It went that long without someone finding that.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting part. Not that AI found it. That's actually not that interesting anymore. It's that no one else noticed this, right?
Or they did and they were using it and they're all like,
exactly. So, which is funny because we're on Zoom right now. I'm like, oh, I wonder. They did patch
Don't
it.
tell them, Gralf. Gosh, stop sec.
Yeah, I know. Don't tell. Hold on. What's the password here? Let me find it real quick. But they did patch this, so it's been patched.
I do hate though when I get those like out of band notifications, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody's like on, hit me up in a Signal group and like, Jake, be wary of Zoom. There's an O day, and I'm like, you're not going to close the loop on this. B, what am I supposed to do? Like not attend meetings, right? I mean, it's
you just send emails like I can't attend. I know too much about. Yeah. Can we go something else?
I mean, by that logic, you should just turn your computer off.
Yes.
Exactly. Right, exactly.
Yeah. So. There's a 0 day and probably all these fun things that you have. And even worse than that, some of them just get patched and never announced. They're never like a public blog or anyone did any research. They just find that there's remote code execution in this internally or through a pen test or other security, and they just fix it, and it's all quiet. It could have been there for years. So it's interesting when we get to see the news on it, though. So.
Mhm.
All right, what else we got? Anyone else got any other articles that they wanted to talk about? I was kind of diving through.
Let's see.
I know there was that DEF CON one.
Oh yeah, that's actually one. Yeah, so the plane.
The plane.
I
Yeah.
checked my flight number. I was like, I wasn't on that flight.
I
right?
wasn't on that flight. So for those who were living under a rock or don't know anything, the DEF CON and Black Hat happened the other week. And as you can imagine, a lot of people had to fly there. They probably don't all drive. And there was a Delta flight going from Las Vegas to Atlanta. And I guess somebody was messing with the Wi-Fi on the flight, and they had a whole thing. I think we'll call it the audio from the pilot was on there. It's like, we're just coming back from with a bunch of
so it was the in-flight messaging system between the pilots and the tower.
Okay.
I vaguely remember pilot stuff, but a lot of times that's used in order to get like sports scores live. Sometimes
only the important stuff, right?
Only the important stuff. So yeah, but they also it was first picked up by like somebody that watches this. I want to say it's the AWACS system, but I know that's wrong. But there was the messages. They only saw like, I think it was Turbine Traveler that first saw the messages. ACARS, there we go, not AWACS, ACARS system. And they were monitoring that, and they were only seeing like one side of the messages, so they could only see what was sent from the pilot, but not what was sent back to the pilot. You could infer some things to where they're like, wait, so you want us to turn all the Wi-Fi off or reset the Wi-Fi, or what's going on? Additionally, there were some others that chased down the more legitimate sounding Reddit users, if there is such a thing. I think it was because there are people that were Redditors that were making claims of this, but they went through like their message history and said, yeah, these people were at DEF CON. They did post on these things before this incident. So they're likely not making up the fact that they were at DEF CON and on this flight.
Delta said that there was no hack of any Delta system, including the aircraft's in-flight Wi-Fi. So
it was just evil.
Yeah,
twin.
but
Like,
they probably had a flipper, and they freaking were DFing, or not DFing, but kicking people off, de-authing. Thank you, people on the plane, and yeah.
Did you see DEF CON's response though? Because there was one thing that was excellent about DEF CON's response to it. Maybe it wasn't, but DEF CON did say like, oh, even though like this attack has been around since 1997, and it's like, yeah, get that hacker, like call him out on the like way to use a 30-year-old hack.
Yeah.
So does that mean the pilot has to hack back the guy that was? Does that work?
we stored AI on every single airplane to hack back in case anyone attacks.
Oh yes, exactly.
Cutting edge technology.
Wi-Fi works.
Who on the call though is old enough to remember Chris Roberts?
Is that the person who plugged into the that was what, 2015 or 2016?
2015.
Yeah, I remember John Strand saying, if any of you like people that work for me do that, you're fired. I was like, why would I plug into the plane? Like, that sounds terrible.
All right. Well, Jake, tell the story, because I'm pretty sure I don't. But
So
that makes us the old guys.
Yeah, because circa 2015, he tweeted literally from in flight saying, I'm going to make the plane fly sideways. I've got control of the engines. I've plugged in, what have you. Now, whether or not that's even possible for an in-flight entertainment system or was in 2015, no reason to discuss that specifically, because there's a bunch of conjecture back and forth there. I will tell you what definitely happened, though, is that he was detained when he landed. I was working with several people from his company in a SASOG role at a contractor who the company evaporated overnight because, as I'm sure you can imagine, as that made big news, there's lots of people like, yeah, we're not doing business with this clown. And so And Chris is an OG. He's done a lot for the community, or prior to. I mean, he's kind of fallen off the map now because, like, yeah. I mean, I remember seeing in a private signal group where he was basically auctioning off bourbon a year and a half later from his collection, right? Trying to pay legal bills, right? Downsizing the house, all that. Like, so real no joke. Like, people that had paychecks one day literally didn't the next because of these shenanigans, right? So.
I mean, I'm all for like the flight, like the airplane systems being tested, just preferably not while it's under flight with
not while
on
it.
Yeah, right.
That's production. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and who on the call here isn't mature enough to know better, right?
I always just wanted to try to do DNS tunneling out. Like, this is back when you could supposedly you could DNS tunnel out of the Wi-Fi and get internet for free.
Oh yeah,
right?
I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
You did it?
Oh yeah.
How
You do
recently?
all the time.
You should.
Yeah.
Statute of limitations is well over on that one. That's
Okay, all right.
right. So yeah.
I cannot
Yeah,
confirm or deny.
I would like to know, or I'd like everyone to know, I pay for the Wi-Fi now, but honestly, I have done it.
What's free now, right? Like at least some
depending on
it's free domestic.
Depend on the airlines. Yeah, like
Okay, and this is one of the things to where it's like, post DEF CON, I'm kind of surprised this doesn't happen more often, where people just power on their toys. Because I've been in a hacker meeting where somebody brings in their new Wi-Fi pineapple and they go, yeah, let's just check all of the boxes, turn on all of the things, and then you get like a very angry venue owner coming in being like, yeah, this is messing with our credit card systems. Our TVs that are streaming things are now just streaming like trollolololo, like, because you just turned on everything, which we kind of responded with two things where it's like, okay, first off, we'll find the person, we'll shut it down. Second of all, why do you have such a flat network that we completely broke your stuff with turning on all the switches on, all the check boxes on a box completely wrecked your business. Let's have a more intelligence talk now.
And then,
but yeah, I can see that happening with DEF CON, people buying those, whatever devices. And I'm not blaming devices, but your pineapple pagers or your flippers or whatever, and being like, I'm bored on a flight. Let me just turn this thing on. It has its own self-contained battery because it's lithium battery, and I have to put it in my carry-on. And just hit all the buttons, do all the things, and this creates a situation. I think because they weren't detained and because of some of the things that has come up from people who were on that flight, they're like, yeah, it seems like they made their announcements. They kind of said, hey, whoever this is, knock it off, and it self-resolved. But because people are out there, watching the messages, it made headlines because it sounds like a juicy story.
all I heard was Alex hacked some mom and pop pizza with a Wi-Fi pineapple.
Oh my god!
Pizza place wanted pineapple with a bar. It was a bar, so
Pizza place.
That wasn't me though. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Talk about the ShieldBreak stuff. That was
The what?
interesting. The ShieldBreak POC with the Defender stuff. I don't know if y'all read about that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like the second
Nightmare Eclipse,
Defender
man.
vulnerability?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Where like, Defender becomes the weak link?
Yeah, so basically you already have to have like local privilege, but you abuse Defender to write a specific DLL that you then load into like the Windows error reporting, and it just then executes your code, I guess, at a very high level. I mean, trivial to detect and prevent, but like, yeah, that one was very fascinating to see drop on like I guess it dropped on like a Wednesday or whatever.
Oh, this is the Nightmare Eclipse guy.
Yeah,
Nightmare
that's what I'm
Eclipse.
saying. Like, Nightmare Eclipse, man, is absolutely eating Microsoft's lunch. I just dropped the link in the chat. Or sorry, in the Discord. But Nightmare Eclipse is eating Microsoft's lunch, right? Like, it's legit embarrassing at this point that they continue to drop vulnerabilities here.
Yeah, and
This is
that
the,
sort of thing is like so specific too. Like that is just, it's almost embarrassing to the fact that that's in there because there's a very specific DLL too. It's phoneinfo.dll, which doesn't exist by default, but you are then like abusing through Defender.
When I used to teach
DLLs
code
running on the
injection, right, we talked about these ghost DLLs, right? There's a bunch of them out there. The one thing I'm going to give Microsoft credit for is that they changed some default behavior some years ago where just because you it used to be if you loaded a DLL, even just to read an icon out of it, it ran all the code in DLL main. Thankfully, it doesn't do that anymore. So, but still, I mean,
This is the same guy who said that the July 14th, right? Like that, over and over again.
Yes, that's him. I think it's interesting because I feel like Microsoft just needs to just start all over again. Like Windows 12 is just a fresh rewrite. Just be like, it doesn't work with all the old stuff, right? Like, just we're dumping everything.
It's really just Linux under the hood, or
yes,
something.
exactly. That is the year of Linux.
That's right.
We finally get it when Microsoft has to just use Linux to keep going. Oh my gosh, they have to patch all of it. Yeah, so. He's probably going to have another one. I don't know. He keeps dropping them.
I would say that's likely. I mean, but real question here, right? Why is Microsoft not like paying this person, right? I mean,
that was
they should be offering this person FU money, right, to come back into the fold. I have some inside knowledge that they were a former employee, or I said some inside. I heard some rumor inside that they think they knew who Nightmare Eclipse is. They think it's a former employee. Offer them FU money, bring them back in. Like, everybody has a dollar amount, right? Even if they hate Microsoft, where they'll come back into the fold. And I mean, like, beyond the public perception piece, this is just what's good for Microsoft's customers, because I don't see this stopping anytime in the future, right? They've been able to carry this on now for what, since April-ish, March, April, something.
And that must be what Microsoft is hedging on, is that eventually they'll run out of things they can abuse. And they're hoping that, like, it won't look bad if they start throwing money at this person that is very publicly embarrassing them. So they're trying to figure out which one looks, I guess, best for them publicly. Like, neither of them look good, but which one looks worse?
I don't know. I think with enough, domain insider knowledge about an operating system and a coding harness and a decent local LLM, it ain't going away anytime soon.
Right. Next thing you know, you're going to start hacking other companies.
Don't forget that Microsoft, one of the pillars of Microsoft's SDL, right, is that knowledge of the code should not translate to new vulnerabilities.
That's definitely not true.
I'm not arguing the point. Just saying that's the claim.
Yeah, I know, right? Did you guys see the new Signal automatic key verification? So, all right. So for all you Signal users out there, when you get that little message and somebody wiped their phone and they're like, their key has changed. If you want to make sure that they really are, you have to go meet them up and look at the QR code and do this whole thing. You're usually just whatever, accept. So the Signal they launched a new automatic key verification to stop server level wiretapping, right? So in between, both of those connections. They launched that just recently to make your connection more secure.
Fascinating.
It's kind of interesting.
I just always put in the number when it prompts me. It's like re-verify.
Yes, I know.
Just shoot it the AI way. Accept all. Go.
Most
that
people
was all
verify.
the push notifications for the VPN. I just accept them.
I was gonna say, most people verify Signal, your safety number changed about the same way that the SSH key on this remote host changed.
Exactly.
Yes, I know. rmrf:.ssh.
These are the same
Press
people.
Command R and then enter this command. Yeah, sure. Why not?
These are the same people who install Python packages as root. I'm just saying.
It's a shame.
Yes. Well, I mean,
I do that too. It's okay.
Yeah. The problem is these literally do change.
Here, this is an interesting one. The PBS one. PBS broadcaster loses access to 50 terabytes of data.
Oh, yeah.
Composed of 70 years of TV. So the crazy part is they did have backups, right? Well, they were using a third-party provider named OSS. But that they
was
were
the
paying
backup,
the
though.
backup. That was the backup. But then that company
That's
went
not
defunct.
a backup.
That's not a backup?
No.
What is it?
3, 2, 1. Okay. You have 3 copies, 2 locations, right? I mean, the whole thing is it's 3 copies,
Okay.
comedians, and,
They're PBS, all right? They're running on low money, all right? Maybe Ralph can
Supported by
donate
viewers
some.
like you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ralph is like, okay, I'll support. Here's some terabytes,
So
all right?
this
You can
was-
store some on my servers.
Just like a guy in a basement who had a couple of NAS systems tied together, and that's where the 50 terabytes was. Like I don't know.
That's what it seems like. They
man.
actually found out that the company was delinquent under Colorado's Secretary of State, and then realized that they were actually just utilizing Iron
joking.
Mountain.
That's really
No.
what happened.
That's really like pretty much what happened. Yeah. Like the company defunct, and then they were actually just third party to Iron Mountain, which totally normal, like resellers, right? Now they're in contact with Iron Mountain to try to get their data back. But
Oh my gosh,
dude, could you imagine all the episodes of Mr. Rogers just
Sesame
gone?
Street.
yeah. So the 321 was, it's 3 copies, 2 different media types, and one should be offsite, right? So they were just doing 1 copy and 1 was offsite, right? So if you're going to do this properly, you should have the data, you should have a backup to a tape or some other medium, and then you should back that up to an offsite.
Yeah,
So
but storage is expensive these days, though, right? I mean,
Right. What if the first 2 failed and this was the third one and it's the only one they're reporting on?
how does
Come
that
on,
happen?
Ralph. They were I don't know. The tapes got hot and melted or something.
well,
Well, of the 2 locations, one of them has to be somebody's Plex, right? Like with all that
Yeah.
PBS stuff, someone's got
it
that
was the
somewhere. on their
internal
Plex.
laptop.
Yeah.
So no joke, since we're already, we've already done the Wayback thing here, previously with Chris. Mega Upload, I believe that's
Oh.
2013, if I recall.
Oh, they're
I had
still
2
around.
Oh, I know, tracking.
Yeah.
But when their servers got seized up in Canada, I had 2 enterprise clients who had unique backup data on those servers that got seized. And so they had to work then internationally with law enforcement trying to get this data off of
Oh my god.
this data off of these systems. And it's fun times, man. Know your backup provider.
Yeah, and also the other, like, I'll put this, the other security feature of a backup is you definitely want to use some kind of worm backup so that you're not in a scenario where that data can be deleted, right? You want retention policies in that data so that you can't even automatically delete it, right? Like you don't have that choice. It ages out at a certain point, right? That's your little ransomware fun one there. So, which we don't got as much ransomware anymore. It's all AI. Ransomware's
I
dead.
know we could use some good, like it used to
Don't
be
say
this podcast
Oh,
was nothing
no.
but ransomware, right?
Wait,
Now it's just nothing but packages and AI. That's all we get to talk about.
Oh, hold on. I don't want any. Keep
Give
that
me
away
a cool
from me. Give it to
ransomware
him.
talk.
Give it
Don't
to
speak
Wade.
that
I don't
into
want
existence.
it.
And in this episode, Wade wishes for ransomware.
Yes. So
Don't
we don't
wish for it.
we don't
It's
have
out
any
there.
chicken articles this round, and we also don't have any ransomware. I think that's going to be the new joke when we're trying to find. Someone's probably going to go find them now this week. Oh yeah, I found like 6 ransomware stories.
So how long is it into your frontier model swarm of AI hack bots is doing ransomware campaigns? Is that the next story?
That is the next in Damon. That is like the middle chapter, right?
That's right.
And then once the augmented glasses are freely available to be distributed to the followers, that's when the ransomware will
Well,
start.
the real ransomware now is the cost of inference. That's the new ransomware. Is they're going to jack it up, and then that's the ransom.
You know what? Kind of like, did you guys hear? I remember like Bezos came out and said like soon you won't own you won't own anything, right? And then like your computers will all just be virtual. And like this was when they were trying to do the virtual gaming stuff, which I was like, this never been caught on. But now I'm like, God damn, they're gonna make us do it. Like, it's a bit scary.
Yeah, so
Alright.
both Adrian and Jake have things to promote, correct?
oh yes, they totally do.
Yep.
Go ahead, Adrian. Fire away, man.
Yeah. So I have webcast about hardware hacking for beginners. Those are like the basic steps if you want to go into hardware hacking, the tools, what are the targets, and hopefully people can start straight after this webcast and mess with the Wi-Fi router or something else. And it's now 2nd of September, so hope you will be there.
Nice. Is that a 1 hour webcast, or is it a 4?
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
It's all right. 1 hour. Awesome. Man, I love doing some IoT stuff. That's really fun.
Yeah, hardware hacking's fun.
Yeah, it's also like if you ever do get into it, there's just so many things out there that are horribly like I don't know how they got there from a security standpoint. So, and with the advent of AI, you can have a lot of fun really fast.
That's where Skynet is going to be, right? And all the IoT devices.
It's just distributed across all IoT.
Yeah, there is no security. It's just obfuscation most of the time. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Jake, you also had something too, didn't you?
Yeah, sure enough. So this Friday, much sooner than Adrian's here, but this Friday we're running a one-day seminar on MCP. I know everybody here has heard of MCP. I keep talking to folks who have no idea how to security assess it, and so have coming from somebody who's worked now a couple of MCP related incidents in the wild, as well as done a bunch of security assessment. I've got 3 custom MCP servers that I built. That you'll work on throughout the day and learn how to do security assessment. So hope to see some of you folks there. I know not everybody can be there, but I sure hope to see some of you folks there. And promise it'll be a fun, jam-packed day. So I dropped the link in the chat as well. Oh, I see Ryan did as well. Awesome. So yeah.
Sweet. I love MCPs. I put MCPs on everything. Yeah, my whole life. It's all connected.
You should see his garden. It's just MCPs. It's not like every single.
But the S in MCP stands for security.
That's correct.
I thought it meant for just JavaScript. Oh, awesome. Sweet. Well, does anyone else have any articles? I think that was it for today. Well, hey guys, I really appreciate everybody joining and everybody who was listening live or whenever you do listen to us. We really appreciate it. And we will get to see you guys next Monday. All right. Later, guys.